Welcome to FCC Supporters Square. For fans, by fans, and about fans. Here are your hosts, Mark Subin and Matt Gorman. Hey, everybody. We might be missing somebody. We might not. You know how life gets in the way. We are not professional podcasters, so work and life and things and stuff. Mark did not say he's not going to be here, but he may be on some kind of work related thing. So we're just going to start without him. And when he joins in, we'll just fit him right in the way I do with my quality editing. So welcome again to another FCC Supporter Square. I have a special guest this time. I would wait a little bit, but here he is. Dave Wright. Say hi, Dave.
Hey, how's it going?
So I'm gonna ask a couple of questions. Usually I interview and then we do this, but I'm gonna interview a little bit first, and then we'll get into last week's and this week's game. So what supporter group do you join? Are you joining? You got more than one?
Well, I've been this is a
There
little
you
hard
go.
to see with the camera here, but I've been a loyal Bailey bastard since 2017, I believe. I only joined one. I was a season ticket holder in the first year of FC Cincinnati, and I didn't join a supporters group that first year, and I was actually up having a couple of beers at Clifton Heights Tavern where our good friend Kyle Kuznoftanin used to manage, and I was talking to him, and I was like, I don't know which one I was going to join, if it was Dienestad or the Pride. And he just looked at me and went, screw that, man. Join the Bailey Bastards. And that was the extent of the sales pitch that I needed. And I was like, man, that's a great name. It's very appropriate for who I am as a person. So
Once a bastard, always a bastard. It's a brigade now, but because we have to be family friendly, but people who know. So
yeah.
you were a day one season ticket holder?
Not quite a day one season ticket holder. I remember when they first came into the USL and they were announced, I was real excited about it. I was just, a single guy living in a one bedroom apartment in Clifton, and it's like, well, tickets are $10. And I went to the first two games and was like, okay, yeah, no, we're doing this. And so
Well, somebody decided to wake up. Was it a work thing? Up, audio. You'll figure it out.
Yeah, work thing. Sorry.
And we're keeping this in. As you know, our rule is whatever happens, it happens.
Happens.
So I thought it might be a work thing because I knew you were coming. So I was just talking to briefly with Dave. Say hi to Dave.
Mr. Sutphin, how are you doing?
Not bad. How you been, sir? Good to see your friendly face once more time.
It's very good to see you. I've not been too bad. I've been a little busy lately myself with work and family stuff, but I've been able to catch all the games so far this year, and I've very much enjoyed that.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Good
How
stuff.
about you?
Oh, busy as always. Certainly was very excited to be down in Nashville to see a wonderful win and clean sheet and excellent environment down there. About 300 to 400 people, FCC fans down there. Was just an electric environment for us, and of course, 3 points was all too amazing.
So you say the atmosphere was good. How was the trip? For people who haven't done roadies, give them a little insight on your Saturday.
Well, Saturday was pretty chill overall. Just Matt, Adam, Chick, and I went down. We didn't really get down there as early as we could have. But once we got down to the Smoking Thighs, as it was the place to meet, place was packed. Place was jovial. Place was just rocking with folks, and from FCC fans to all supporter groups and everybody in between. It was just a mixed bag of everybody. And then the march from there, it was just a small march, a lot like what we have at Nellie's. Got into we had to walk strangely around their live concert, or of course, it's music down there. It's Nashville, but we literally walked right by their concert right in front of the band, and it was just pretty odd. But walked all the way around to the other side to go in the stadium. Get in there, have to wait for about 20 minutes or so, and then we finally get escorted to our section. So our little bitty little corner section that they give you, of course. But yeah, great atmosphere. Just couldn't be happier. Great weather. I mean, it was perfect down there. But then, just unfortunately, we didn't stay overnight. We came home because, I had, I go to church as many Sundays as I can. So I was home for that, and so made it for a pretty long day, but it was beautiful overall.
Oh, you could always take a nap.
Yes, certainly did that.
So real quick, how did they look? I did watch parts of it, but I had other engagements, so I only caught parts of it and then watched the replay. They looked dangerous often,
Yeah,
but I heard a lot of slipping, which I didn't see so much.
well, yeah, that was kind of odd. You saw at least about a few of them, and a lot of ours just slipped at very inopportune times. But I think those things were rectified. What I saw on the pitch was Pinto, who held his own, did an adequate job. He really didn't push the envelope, but I just think he needed to get his feet wet in there. So that's what he did. Gaddis, just played out of his mind again. Miazga obviously, bent but didn't break. Haglund, thankfully, no big problems.
More red cards.
Yeah. So there was a one that I thought was pretty close to at least a yellow, but they didn't call it. And that's going to happen, for us and against us. But I just thought the play, and I really looked at the second half. First half was mostly them. It was shots 12-1. But certainly I thought we were on the front foot second half, and here we are with Vasquez once again schooling a U.S. men's national team back again, long first, and now Zimmerman's this past Saturday to get his first goal of the season. What a great way to get that.
That sounds like a two-pole, right? We should have Zimmerman with an X on it and Long with an X on it. So every time he beats a midfielder or a defender that plays for the U.S., even if it was back in the past, we should get a two-pole that does. That's a great idea. Yeah. So creative types who don't do podcasts do that.
For sure.
Do that.
We're on it. We'll get our top people on.
Creative people, knifey lion people. You're not doing stuff anymore. Do that. Don't worry about me. So what did you think of the game, Dave?
I thought it was a very, very entertaining game to watch. I'm more of a guy who enjoys, a defensive struggle and kind of like the chess moves as things move around. I'm not gonna say no to a 5-goal bonanza or something like that, but I do always enjoy those 1-0 games where that one goal is just so magnificent. And it was really great to see Vasquez punch one home finally. You could tell he was really starting to just get frustrated over the last few weeks, and you could tell after he scored just his reaction that like just a huge weight lifted off his chest. And I tell you, man, going down, Nashville is a good team. Hani Mukhtar is the reigning MVP. Anytime you can pull 3 points on the road from a squad like that, I think you got to be happy.
First bad take, real quick, one word: rivalry. Nashville? Yes, no.
Nah.
No.
I love this the meme. I think it was a Mad Men meme, and it was like, I feel sad for you was the first frame. This going to the John Hamm character, and he goes, I don't think of you at all. I'm like, yeah, I don't think of you at all. So this coming week is Inter Miami. I have some personal exciting news. Hey, he swapped everything out. For those who are listening to audio, he just switched his background from the Zeptones, which I like, to his brigade flags, which I like. So
Yeah.
I can't lose on this one. So personal news is I sold my my first financial tickets for this game, and I will be in the Bailey, thanks to the guy down here. If you're not paying attention, Mr. Supin, I said, "Hey, I need a ticket." He's like, "I got you, bro."
Gotcha.
And so I don't know if it's smart because I have to work the next day at 7:45, but I'm doing it anyway.
Things
I
we
wait. I
do.
may not have a voice, but hey, you're
Yep.
just gonna have to deal with it.
Yep.
So that's personal exciting news. What are your thoughts, Dave, on Inter Miami?
I haven't watched a whole lot of them this year. I've heard that they may or may not be getting Lionel Messi some point in the middle of the year. So I think it's very good that we play them now. Um, I don't know. I'm kind of excited to watch the game. I don't know how much of it I'm going to get to see this time. It's actually my wife and my 4th wedding anniversary this weekend. And she's not much for standing. So we're gonna go out to dinner with some friends, and I'm gonna catch the game where I can. But yeah, Inter Miami, I've seen. I remember watching them in 21 for the home opener, the opener at TQL Stadium, and they were a bit dangerous. I don't really like Brett Shea's mullet, but the guy can score. I don't know if he's still with them or not, but they're yeah, I don't think they're a team you can really take too lightly myself.
Aren't they up and down? If I'm correct, they're what 3-0-2 or 2-0-3. I think they're 2-0-3. So you never know what Miami team. And I think away from Miami, they're not playing very well. That's what I've been gathering. People who are listening can go yell at me. That's fine. Write nasty comments to fcc.supp.square@gmail.com. Tell me I'm wrong. That's okay. We love all feedback is good feedback. Mark, what do you think?
Obviously with Higuain retiring, there was a big hole to fill, and Josef Martinez is definitely making that. Hold on a second.
Oh, there he goes. He's looking for Joseph Martinez. He spotted him, and then oh, did you catch him? He ran away. Unfortunately, Joseph ran away before we had a chance to put him back onto the podcast. But we almost had him. Go ahead, Mark. You are muted, sir. For those on the audio.
Sorry.
There we go.
My bad. It's what I tried to do without glasses. But Josef Martinez, I certainly remember his goal against us in 2019. I know, he's past his injuries. He's maybe lost a step, but he's still very dangerous in my mind. I just don't see this as the same dynamic team that we've seen in the past. But they could be a Heckle Jive kind of squad that could just shock us. But otherwise, I have not seen much that shows me that they're gonna take over the Eastern Conference and run for the playoffs. I don't see that yet.
You are so right, but they're such a pain in our butts. How many times have we played them, taken a lead, and they get a late equalizer and a late game winner? It just seems like we play them well for a half. Now this team is rolling on all cylinders. They also play to the level of competition, so it seems to me like we're playing at home. We're playing a good team. They're probably going to be. It's probably going to be good FCC, not bad FCC. What do you think, Dave?
I think that's a pretty good point. One of the things that I really like about this FC Cincinnati team, and really have since Pat Noonan's taken over, is his adjustments at the half and his willingness to make substitutions. That was one thing that I'm sure it's a completely unique opinion that I have that I wasn't real fond of Jaap Stam for, was just like stubborn refusal for substitutions. But I, I think that I think Pat Noonan's got his handles on it, man. I mean, that guy I don't know if he's got a crystal ball he's looking into or what, but it seems like he just knows the right moves to make, the right guys to run out there. And I'm very fortunate. I'm very thankful he's our coach and not anywhere else.
The whole management team, we've been saying this for some time. You take a wooden spoon team, essentially, add a couple of pieces, and then make the playoffs. And then you add a couple more pieces. We may lose Vasquez this summer. We may lose Brenner this summer. Nobody said, Sergio Santos, why are we paying money for that guy? Well, we already see that he's plug and play into this. So I have full faith, unlike our other management, not just our soccer management, but the front office people, that I always knew the owners wanted to spend money. They just needed the right guy to direct their money to the right spot. They're doing that. If those two guys go, and I don't really want to see them go, I love watching them play week in and week out. But if they go to a bigger and better, and I'm all happy for that. But I feel like we'll get two replacements for them, and it'll suck, because we've got a chance at the cup. We really do have. I wasn't going to say that or this preseason, but the way we're playing right now, and of course it's 5 of 34, but the way if we keep it up right now and not get into a 10-game lull, we have a chance for not only the cup but at least the Shield. What do you think, Mark?
Agree with that. This team has raised its level already. We're seeing that this year. No, we're not doing St. Louis kind of things right now, but I'm happy with the balance and the desire to execute that we're seeing. Granted, it's low scoring, but these are wins. These are draws. There are no losses in this as of yet, and I just couldn't be happier.
The draws are losses, I think. Don't you think?
What's that?
The draws are losses. The draws are losses.
It's getting to that point. We drew so many matches last year, it became sickening. Only Columbus had more than we did, which we'll let them have that. But yes, I just think so many matches we drew very late in the match just happened time after time again. Hopefully, we've exercised that, and we're now on a. We're looking good in the second half now. We're not faltering away. We're not tiring. We're getting the subs in there that are strengthening the places where we needed it. So I'm definitely happy with where this getting the guys in the system and having them perform. It's working. It's a well-oiled machine right now. So I'm all for it.
Dave, I'd ask your opinion, but we're running out of time, so we're going to try to get to you a little bit. There was so much more we could probably talk about. I will say this briefly before I get to the interview. The Cincinnati Bengals management and the FCC management, on-field management, are a lot the same. We had managers previously that would not make a change. If you look at the second half of the Bengals and you look at the second half of FC Cincinnati, we're not playing the good half. Things are happening in that second half. They are not playing the same. The changes might be made maybe a little late or a little early. It doesn't matter, but they've changed what they need to do to get at least a point. So I need to ask. I think everybody's wants to know, Reverend Burrito. What is the meaning of Reverend Burrito? Do you have religious experiences at Taco Bell or?
So Reverend Burrito is the gamer tag that I picked out when I was creating my PlayStation Plus account, because I actually am an ordained minister. It's nothing serious. I put in my email address online for the Universal Life Church, and they were like, "Congratulations, here's your ordination papers." And I also just really happen to like burritos. So
it's so obvious. How did I not know this?
Yeah, I know. I can just tell by looking at me, man. And yeah, it just the first time that I typed it out on screen, it was just one of those things I looked at. I'm like, I don't have a whole lot of moments of brilliance, but by God, this is one.
You're a real man of genius. So that's great. I mean, that's where I was like, I love that. I love that handle when I'm looking at you on Twitter. I like the things that you're doing. The other reason why I really wanted you on this show, and thank you for coming on to our show,
Thank you for
was
having me.
because you have this Don Quixote quixotic quest of getting Chad Ochocinco into Bailey. And I, for one, will get a Bailey ticket regardless of what home game you get. If he comes in, because you've been tagging me, I've been trying to help you out. We're trying to get, I think Tommy G was trying to help out a little bit. Not much movement, you were saying, they're off screen, but this is why I wanted you on here, for our tens of followers to start moving that petition to get Chad Ochocinco and his Chad Ochocinco money to buy a coach ticket to Cincinnati. We'll get you a kit. We'll get you a spot. We're gonna have you taken care of. We'll get you a beverage of your choice. I'm sweetening the pot as we speak.
Yeah.
I think we carry him around on our shoulders. I think the drummers would probably let him play the drums. People would let him capo. I don't know. I'm just speaking off the cuff here, but I mean, I follow him on Twitter, and he's very interested in the EPL, and he plays a lot of FIFA. And maybe it was after a night where I ate a few too many crayons, but it seemed like the kind of thing that really it made perfect sense. Like, this is a guy who's a Cincinnati legend. He seems very, still to be engaged enough with the city. He seems to have some love for the city. I just think it would be really awesome for Cincinnati and for FC Cincinnati if he got to come to the Bailey for a game. Yeah.
So you, my faithful tens of listeners, please reach out to Ochocinco, or reach out to someone else who knows Ochocinco, or just we start bombarding him politely, please. We don't need to get him mad at us. Maybe he will show up one day like a groundhog, and he'll show up and we'll have 6 more weeks of wins. That'd be great. So I would look forward to that. I think some pictures will be in order. Definitely that'll be your piece. So if you want to help out with this quest, Reverend Burrito at Twitter, that's his Twitter handle. Look him up. Send him some love. Send him some help. We need to get that going. So you are a brigader, a longtime brigader, a bastard. We love that. What brought you to the Bailey?
Well, when FC Cincinnati first started up, let me actually back up a little bit more here. So I'd been kind of wanting to get into soccer for a while. And one of the things that I really always loved about like EPL games and stuff like that was you would see, you'd watch these games and you would hear the people singing in the stadium. You'd see the flag wavers and the drum players, and I just thought that looked really, really awesome. And then when FC Cincinnati started up here, in the USL, the single game tickets were for the Bailey were $10. And I was like, man, that's right in my price range. I can make that work. And I went to a couple of them and decided, like, no, man, I just need to do this. And so I ordered season tickets, I think, after my second match, and I've been a season ticket holder in the Bailey ever since. And, it's the experience it's hard to describe for people who haven't been there. Like, the best way that I can really, describe it is like, even the 3 years that we won the Wooden Spoon and we were the worst team in the league and we had like no upward trajectory, I still never had a bad time at a game.
So, and this is for everybody. I haven't asked all my guests, but whether you're in the Bailey or not, you can join the march. Do you remember your first march?
I do, actually. It was, I believe, in 2018. We used to meet at Hangover Easy in Clifton and march over. And I got my buddy of mine, Eric, who comes to the games with me pretty frequently. I got him to start coming along with me. Yeah, he and we've been friends for, almost 25 years at this point. And he and I did our first march together. My first year as a, season ticket holder in the Bailey, I never really was that punctual, so I would always miss the march. But excuse me, I'd always get there in time for just in time for the game. But yeah, I remember we did that. I can't remember who we were playing at that point in time. It was the home opener for the 2017, and we just went and just had a good time.
Very, very good. One, obviously you brought up Eric Franzen, your buddy for a long time, and I just my biggest recollection of you is that 2021 match when we didn't have we couldn't all be there together. It was just a percent, like 50% or whatever. And
yeah,
you and Franzen got a good spot, a really excellent spot. And man, once we scored, you and Franzen were just videoed, just blasting out all that what we had at home. Unfortunately, not all of us could go, but just an amazing emotion, and exactly exemplified what the Bailey's about.
oh man, that was one of my, if I had to put like my top 5 like live sporting events thing, going to the opener for TQL Stadium, even it was half capacity because of COVID, being what it was, we got to see Alvaro Barrial score the goal. And then when Nick Haglund tied it, when he ran around the side of the goal, like we were in the first row, and he was like as close as he could get, still staying on the pitch, but yelling in my face. Like I was very, very fortunate that I got to be a part of that. That was an amazing experience.
Excellent.
I think I did that to you at Nellie's.
I'm enjoy people yelling in my face, man. I've been going to rock concerts for over 20 years. It's just baked into my blood at this point.
Good stuff.
Well, we're running out of time. One last thing before we go. Score line, Dave.
I think we're going to take a 2-1 victory this weekend.
Mark.
I'm going to put it at 2-0. We get a goal in each half, and Celentano with yet another beautiful clean sheet.
I like what you're thinking, and I'm going to say the same thing. 2-0. I feel a 2-0. It just feels like a 2-0 game. Dos Cicero. If I'm there and it is Dos Cicero, I'll be saying Dos Cicero.
Amen.
So thank you for listening here at FCC Supporter Square. Again, if you would like to be a guest, send us a Gmail. It's at Gmail. It's fcc.supp.square@gmail.com. And say I want to be on, and we'd love to have you on. So for Dave and Mark, this is Matt Warman signing off. Hoping everything's great.